Angie Rupert, founder of Rupert Law Group. We handle exclusively E2 and E1 visas. So no matter what treaty country you're from or what state you want to live in, we can help. Before we get to the topic at hand, I'd love for you to take just a moment to subscribe and hit the little bell so you get notified whenever a new video comes out. And of course, if this information is useful to you and could be useful to some of your friends and family who also want an E2 visa or an E1 visa, please pass this along. We would really, really be grateful for that. So on to the topic of the day, which is running an online business and getting an E2 visa. Can you do it? Short answer, definitely. Longer answer, you still have to meet all of the requirements of the E2 visa, okay? And sometimes that could be a little bit tricky with an online business. So let's talk a little bit about that, shall we? So obviously the ownership is not that big of a deal. Your source of funds not that big of a deal. Your evidence of investment. Now, one thing I'd like to bring up that even though it may only cost you $300 for server space, and maybe you could get yourself a new computer and then you can run it out of your back bedroom. Does that mean you're going to get an E2 visa with an online business? No, it does not. You still have to invest. You still must invest a substantial amount. So what does that mean? Well, we normally recommend that everybody invest at least $100,000 or whatever it costs to get the business operational, whichever is more. Okay, so even with an online business, even though you only need to spend $1,200 to get this business going, that is not enough. You must invest a substantial amount. Keep this in mind. Maybe if you're a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, you could start that business for $1,200. You have one more mandatory requirement that a citizen or green card holder may not have, and that is you must invest a substantial amount in order to get a visa to run it. So yes, you do have to spend that much money. You do have to spend, we always recommend 100,000 US in order to do that. So how are we going to do that? That's a video for another day. But let me assure you, it is very doable. We've had many clients do it, and we would be happy to talk you through it as well. But just note that that is always our recommendation, and you must invest a substantial amount no matter what the business is. Okay? So keep that in mind. Another place that it might be a little bit tricky, sticky, or something you may want to think about when starting an online business in order to get an E2 visa is employees. You need them? You sure do. Because we always recommend that you have at least one part-time U.S. employee, citizen or green card holder at the time of application. So in this instance, what type of employee would you need? I have no idea. Maybe a developer? Maybe a person who runs the warehouse if you're doing some sort of online sales of items, products, inventory, that type of thing. Maybe somebody to run the website, maybe someone to do coding, maybe someone to do marketing, maybe somebody to answer the phone. I don't know. And honestly, there is no right answer there. It's what works best for your business. But we do recommend that you have someone on payroll at least part-time at the time of application, right? Another thing, do I need an office? Well, yes, you really do. Now, does the regulation say that? No, it doesn't. In fact, it says you may not have to have an office, but what do you have to show? That you meet the requirements of the E2 visa. And in order to do that, there is another requirement called real and operational and marginality. So when you have a business like this, we need to show all the requirements. So in the real and operational, we would love to show a lease. You have an employee coming somewhere, you're going somewhere to work, you have more connection to the United States. Because if you have a completely online business and you have no physical connection to the US, the answer might just be, looks like a great business. Why don't you run it from your home country? Right? And we don't want that. You want to be here. So we need to connect, we need to make as much physical connection to the United States as possible, okay? To show it's real and operating, to show that you need to be here and we'll be directing and developing the business, and show that it's not marginal, right? We have all these things. We have all of these pieces to a real business that's really going to make money, okay? So to recap, those are generally, let me take a step back. Those are generally the issues that come up when dealing with an online business. So keep that in mind. Yes, you absolutely can do it, but you need to invest a substantial amount. You need to have a physical office space. You need to have at least one part-time U.S. citizen or green card holder employee at the time of application. One thing we didn't cover, you should also have some sales. So whatever that business is, what are you selling? What are you doing? Is it some sort of consulting? Is it inventory or products? Is it small purchases, your server space, AI type software? Is it a software purchase? Something that's awesome. All of it could work, but you need to have a little bit of revenue at the time of application too. So you can show the officer, see, it's already working and I'm not even there. When I get there, wait till it blows up, okay? So keep all of those things in mind. But most importantly, keep in mind that yes, you can do an online business and get an E2 visa as long as all of those requirements are met. And that's what we're here to do. So if you have an online business that you're interested in running for the E2 visa, give us a call. We'd love to walk you through the requirements and help you in your E2 visa journey.